Targaryens have a saying, every time a Targaryen is born, the gods flip a coin. 300 years of sitting on the Iron Throne and marrying their own siblings produced one of the most powerful dynasties in Westeros history. It also produced some of the most spectacularly unhinged rulers who ever lived. So today, we are ranking every Targaryen who went mad by how fast they actually lost it. Slowest burn to instant disaster. Let us go. Number 6. Baelor the Blessed. Slowest descent on this list. Baelor started out genuinely beloved, a kind, faithful, deeply spiritual king who built the great sept of King's Landing. On paper, that sounds fine. But then the religious devotion quietly crossed a line. He locked his own sisters in a tower called the Maiden Vault because he was afraid their beauty would tempt him into sinful thoughts. He fasted so aggressively and so repeatedly that he eventually starved himself to death. He was not violent. He was not burning people alive. He was just a man who took his faith so far into the extreme that he stopped functioning as a human being. Slow, quiet, deeply weird. That is Baelor. Number 5. Aerion Brightflame. Now we are picking up speed. Aerion was the prince who believed with complete sincerity that he could transform himself into a dragon by drinking wildfire. Wildfire, the stuff that burns so hot it melts stone. He died doing exactly that. But before that final move, he had already gouged out a puppeteer's eyes because he did not like the story a puppet show was telling, accused his own brother of treason to get rid of him, and spent years in exile in Essos after his family sent him away to keep him from causing more disasters. He was not born evil. He just went from entitled prince to delusional pyromaniac at a pace that alarmed everyone around him, and nobody could stop it. Number 4. Maegor the Cruel. This one is less a descent into madness and more a man who arrived already unhinged and just kept going. Maegor had no patience, no mercy, and no interest in ruling through anything except terror. He burned entire families alive with his dragon Valyrian the Black Dread when they disagreed with him. He had 6 wives, and any child they bore that he suspected was not his was declared a monster and killed. He destroyed the builders of the Red Keep so nobody would know its secrets. He was found dead on the Iron Throne itself, impaled on its swords, and nobody is sure if someone finally killed him or if he simply chose to die there. Maegor did not go mad. He was the starting point. Number 3. Viserys Targaryen, the one from Game of Thrones, not House of the Dragon. Viserys had a much shorter timeline than most on this list because he never actually had power, and his breakdown happened entirely under the pressure of not having it. He was a man who believed so deeply in his own destiny that he could not process any reality that challenged it. He sold his own sister to a Dothraki warlord. He threatened to cut her unborn child out of her body. And when Khal Drogo finally gave him the golden crown he always wanted, it was molten gold poured over his head while Daenerys watched. He did not descend slowly. He was already brittle before the story started, and the exile just finished the job. Number 2. Daenerys Targaryen, the most controversial entry on this list, and honestly, the most tragic. Daenerys spent 8 seasons fighting to be better than her family name. She freed slaves. She refused to burn cities when she could have. She made herself into something genuinely different from what her bloodline suggested she might be. And then, in the space of 1 episode, she burned King's Landing to ash with the bells of surrender already ringing. The flip of the coin that every Targaryen fears happened faster on screen than almost any viewer was ready for, whether you think it was earned or not. Her fall from liberator to destroyer is the most dramatic turn on this entire list. Number 1. Aerys the Second, the Mad King. And here is what people forget about Aerys. He started well. He was charming. He was ambitious. Tywin Lannister was his best friend. He had real plans for his reign. And then life and paranoia started chipping away at him. The defiance of Duskendale, where he was held captive, broke something fundamental. After that, it got worse every year. He stopped cutting his hair or his fingernails. He heard voices. He became obsessed with fire, burning his enemies alive with wildfire and whispering "burn them all" while they screamed. He lasted decades on the throne, getting gradually worse until Jaime Lannister put a sword through his back to stop him from burning the entire city. Aerys is number 1 not because he was the most dramatic, but because he was the most complete. He had everything and dismantled it piece by piece over 20 years until there was nothing left. The coin always flips. It is just a question of how long it takes to land. This is Lemon Pie. Like, subscribe, and comment which Targaryen got the worst deal from the Madness Gene.